And yes, at times our Teacher of the Year can be considered a little salty, as any of us could be, when the day is long and we're exhausted and we're really, really tired. But I'm speaking of salt as an ingredient for when we cook. You see, the magic of salt is that without it, our recipe is bland, and we immediately know that it's missing. But when we add salt in just the right amount, the individual flavors of that recipe, they shine. Our Teacher of the Year is truly the salt of Clinton Public Schools. They have worked in all 4 of our schools and have had a positive impact from students in preschool all the way on up. They truly help to bring out the best in all of our students. But what makes them more special is that they have had equally supported and lifted all of their colleagues. Prior to the pandemic, and certainly during those months, those long months of remote teaching and learning, they were there to help elevate and support all of our teachers. I've been using that pronoun carefully as to not give it away. But she never takes center stage and never wants the recognition for all of her efforts. So, without further delay, I'd like to welcome and recognize and invite up to the podium our 2022-2023 Clinton Public Schools Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Emily Kelsey.
So thank you very much. I've always said that people need a theme song, so for Kelsey's mine, thank you, Ray, for keeping my secret. I've written this speech 1,000 different ways in my head since finding out in May, and I knew that I would have a captive audience, and I hold the keys to your exit today. In the words of the great Oprah Winfrey, I will speak my truth, or as my grandpa Woody would say, I'm going to tell him who I am. Spoiler alert, you will not get inspired by this speech. It's for me. So at first, I thought I would get up here and get all vulnerable and share with you how I have a great anxiety speaking in front of adults. I would tell you that I love to perform on the stage every year because I get to wear a costume and be somebody else. And I even thought that I would put on a costume so that I could get through this speech. I don't know why it's not going. But I didn't want you to think I was a diva or a spotlight hog or anywhere than you already think I am. So next I thought, ooh, I get to be political. I love to be political. I was going to share my recent thoughts on the laws and the state of the country and get really angry at the patriarchy who gets to decide what a woman can do with their body, or share how mad I am at the people who are bashing unions in this country. And thanks to CEA, we get that 30-minute duty-free lunch. But no, this is about me, so I'm going to keep going. So my next best idea for a speech was to tell people what I really thought about them. Hashtag you fill in the blank here. But I thought, whoa girl, you still gotta work with these people. So calling out workplace bullies, cliques, and self-absorbed colleagues was out. Next, I contemplated telling you about the essay that they had me write. What would be your message to the world? And I wrote about having each other's backs and how teachers are fleeing education, and so that we need to really support and advocate for each other to save our profession. But alas, that's too depressing for today. So then I thought about the Teacher of the Year speeches that I sat through year after year. And some of my favorites, I had Ross Tucker's, who, he brought his jazz band up, but I don't conduct jazz bands, so that was out. And then I thought about Ray Smith's and how he took us through a little journey through photography of his family and his career. So here's a few pictures of mine. So it's me, obviously. And some early teaching pictures. For those who don't know, I taught kindergarten when I started. And there's my mom, she was teaching with me at the same time. And then here I am, welcome to Clinton. So, these memories brought me back to my very first convocation in Clinton, Kate Madura. And I would be lying if I said I remembered a single thing she talked about. What I do remember is what I felt that day. What the hell is this? Really? They put the Teacher of the Year on display? That teacher must think her stuff doesn't stink. Well, now I'm the one up here, and I want you to know that I know my stuff doesn't stink. It stinks like the best of them. And be aware that I gave you a spoiler alert. You're not going to be inspired. Now, did you know I was nominated for this award 6 times? No, really, I was, and I went all 6 times for it. I discovered after the 5th time that they don't just give you the award because they like you, or that you keep coming back. During my interview, they actually asked me, "You've been nominated before, why do you keep coming back?" Rude, right? I thought it was. I was not anticipating that question. I had never even considered it. And so the first thing that popped into my mind was the story of how my mom had been nominated Teacher of the Year, and I wanted her to be proud of me. Because as adults, we don't get a lot of opportunities to make our parents proud. Well, when I looked up after answering, everyone on the committee was crying, so I knew I had clinched it. Since then, I had a lot of time to think about that question. Was I jealous of Kate and all the others? Well, probably a little bit jealous. And then I got really real and honest with myself. You know what? I earned this. I work my ass off for Clinton. I come in early. And I stay late. I teach in 2 schools. I go from 8th graders to kindergartners within 20 minutes of each other. I advise clubs, I mentor my colleagues, and I support them. And you know what? If you know me, then I'm not very good at tooting my own horn, but I earned this. And when it's your turn, you will have earned it too. Do you know what the best part about being Teacher of the Year is? It's not the parking space. Because I already beat everyone to school every day. It's that now I can say, no, I won't do that club. No, I won't be on that committee. No, you can't walk all over me. And no, I'm not gonna keep my opinions to myself. And no, I don't regret anything I've done to get here today or what I've set up here today. Yet. The power of yet. But honestly, I love my job. I have been a teacher my entire life, from playing school with my little sister to 26 years in public education. In conclusion, and I know you're all thinking, finally, I want to thank my mom and dad for making and being the best role models for having a loving life, my sister Cindy for being my very first student, my husband Stephen for supporting my career even when it meant giving up so many hours to other people. Thank you to my own children, Matt and Alex, for sharing me with other people's kids. I love you. Thanks to my Penny, my school BFF, for everything and for being a good friend. I also want to thank you. I thank and love all of you, my colleagues, especially my Pearson family. And if you never worked there, you'll never get it, and too bad. We have each other. And I apologize if I offended anyone today. It wasn't my intention. I'm just speaking my truth. Thanks for everything.